right. Welcome to episode 10 of Heath Barn Hoopcast. I'm your host, John Stephen Heath. This episode was very special. It was at Riggs Brewery, and it was with former Illini Marcus Griffin. It's the second time I've had Marcus on. The first episode has not been published under this platform. I published it under my old podcast, but Marcus is a great guest. He's funny, he's a straight shooter, and we've had a lot of fun both times he's been on. We start off talking about this current Illinois team. We go right down the list with the whole roster, how much he likes each individual player, things like that. We play a game called Will They Transfer? And he goes down the list and says, actually, it's not transferring, it's just will they be on the team next year? He goes down the roster and just gives me a yes or no if he thinks they'll be on the team next year, which in this current format with transferring and NIL and all that good stuff, you never know. So he was a lot of fun with all that. We get into his team. We compare him against other teams. His 0-1 team that got screwed in the 0-1 game and should have made it to the Final Four. We talk about that team, and we talk about, we compare them with this current team, the 89 team, 05 team, stuff like that. We do fun stuff like that. There's guests in there in the room with us. They ask questions. It's kind of interactive with them at times, so that was a lot of fun. They get to ask him questions, like I said. And for all you, this is also, he talks a lot about things that are good for kids, too, about as far as how hard you need to work, how much you need to practice, how much he had to practice to get to where he was. And also, I feel like all you parents out there that think your kid's perfect, and anytime they get in trouble at school, you want to blame the school or find some stupid loophole in the handbook or just call the school and gripe and complain and things like that and blame the teachers and blame anybody except your own kid because you think they're perfect. I think that you guys need to listen to this too, because towards the end, Marcus gives his thoughts on that and how dumb he thinks that is. And I was right there with him, but he talks about that and talks about what happened to him back in the day when he was would misbehave at school, something like that. And it's the way all parents should treat it, in my opinion. So he's old school. We talk about that a lot, and so am I. So we agree on just about everything that he talks about. So he's a great guest to have. It was a lot of fun. Stevie gets in there. My son gets to ask him a question at the end. But very, very fun episode. Thank you very much. I'm yapping too much. Let's just get to the episode. It was a lot of fun. Thank you very much, Marcus Griffin, and enjoy, everybody. All right. This is the Heath Barn Hoopcast, and we are live. Not live. Or live. It's not going to be live. You'll hear it. It won't be live. But we're here at Riggs Brewery, and I am here with former Illini Marcus Griffin. Marcus, how's it going? How's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good. Thanks for having me. Second time around.
That's right. I know.
Second time be the best time.
That's right. I don't think these people here know. The first time, okay. I had had a podcast, and I was just doing whatever, and I started slowly kind of getting a couple Illinois guys, and that's when I started to switch it to Heath Barn Hoopcast and just try to make it all about Illinois guys. So anyways, he was the first one that did one in person. He came. Well, tell everybody where you live and where I had to pick you and where I picked you up and all that kind of stuff.
Peoria guy, so of course I still live in Peoria, moved back to Peoria, and so I came into town. I was over at the Hyatt, wonderful hotel if you ain't never been there. I stay at all Hyatt. And so, plug, endorse me, do something. And so he came and picked me up, and I felt like we drove like 50 hours all the way out to this place. It's a nice drive.
Yeah, I told him when we were on our way, because we live out in the country, and I was like, does this feel like you're just like, how are you feeling right now? Because I promise it's fine. I promise it's okay. But then we got out there, and then I got I got it set up out in the garage. We did one out there.
Nice setup.
Had some lunch. Tell him what my son here, Stevie. What'd you guys do?
Video game expert right there. You got to watch.
That's not true.
Don't let his age fool you. He's a shark. He is excellent in video games and the Mexican cook. So I had a good time.
The thing about Stevie though is he really is not. Remember you guys played Papa Shot?
Yep.
So yeah, we came out there, had a big time, took it back, but then now that I'll probably re-release that one like later on to be like okay, but yeah, this is the second time here, so awesome that you came into town, and awesome we're doing this. So,
Oh yeah, I'm always willing to help. Anything, I can come to Champaign whenever. So
absolutely,
I'm glad to be here.
Okay, I got a question here. Let's say we were having this pod. We'll get into the current squad here a little bit, and then we'll have some fun later on. But okay,
Yeah.
Not that this won't be fun, talking about the current squad. But if we would have had this pod right after the Duke game, what would you be saying right now? How would you be?
Right after the Duke game. See, I can compartmentalize a lot of losses, so I don't hold on. It was a bad game.
Yes.
Because for something like that to happen, a lot of different things have to happen in the game. We didn't rebound the ball well. We had turnovers. We didn't hit any shots, and our defense wasn't sound. So how often will that happen again? So I wouldn't harp on it as a player. We address it in the locker room. We'll break down the tape so we can have film session. But after that, I'll let it be.
Right.
I'll let it be. But as a player, that's different.
Yeah.
As a player, I would want to throw something at the wall. Because who likes to get beat by 40?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, I'll say this. Okay. To me, that almost felt just like kind of like the culmination of just like a bad, like whatever it was, stretch there, like 3 games in a row. But the Michigan State game was more frustrating probably to me than even the Duke game, because the Duke game was just a blowout. It was terrible. But the Michigan State game, I felt like was like, how frustrated were you after that one?
I take all losses are the same.
Yeah.
I look like as a player, you want to win every game you play in, no matter if you get beat by 40, if you get beat by 2.
Yeah.
I look at it all the same. What did we do wrong? How could we have gotten this victory? I'm looking at myself if I'm a player. How many rebounds did I miss? How many free throws did I miss? How many points did my man score? And I look at that the same way.
Yeah.
I would be frustrated because we lost, but I'm not going to take, even though if it was a hard going back and forth victory, I'm not going to look at that any more than me getting beat by 25.
Right.
A loss, as a player's mind, a loss is a loss. We
Yeah.
want to win all of it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But as a coach, like I said, it's a different perspective as a coach.
Yeah. That was frustrating that night
It was a
I'm not getting we're getting heavy here off the bat, but I felt like Izzo just kind of spanked us, and just kind of, it was one of those where
it was a bad game because we was right there. Like the last 3 minutes of the game, I don't think we scored, and you want to have that back. You want to have that do-over back because we couldn't stop their run. Any 1 point that we have of free throw, something goes in, we stop the run, maybe we could get a little bit momentum back on our side and we can go down and execute. But I just look at, we have to go through those type of losses so you can get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Going through the Duke loss, going through that Michigan State tough loss is going to propel them now. They're getting healthy. They just had a big win going up against Michigan, winning that game by 20 on their floor. I think at the time Michigan only had 1 home loss. So just building a little bit of confidence, but going back to that Duke, if that was the last game of the regular season and you going into the Big Ten tournament, now that would have been something different.
Yes.
Because you don't have any time to try to get the confidence back. And
Right.
that would have stung a little bit more.
Yeah. Do you think that sometimes it's okay? They've just been so inconsistent up and down, and it's frustrating in the moment, super frustrating in the moment. But do you think that it's as simple as sometimes, first of all, they're I don't think we talk about how young they are enough. And then also, there was a game where we got hammered by somebody. I can't remember who it was. But Underwood, I almost felt like, I quit making excuses, but he was just like, I've never seen more sickness going through a team, blah, blah, blah. Now, do you think sometimes it's just as simple as getting healthy from we had a bunch of guys sick and we get injuries and stuff like that, because everybody has injuries, but it's like as fans you think sometimes we just overanalyze, and it's honestly just like they're going to be fine once they get everybody healthy and they get.
I can answer that question in so many different ways.
Yeah.
But when you bring in 9 new players, 9 new players, the one thing that you need to most is to be able to build chemistry. Chemistry is everything. And they went through December, everybody's together, and they look like a pretty good team.
Yes.
But then it started, one person gets sick, another person gets sick. I have a lot of friends that's in the medical field. This has been one of the worst flu seasons ever. I was sick for I'm gonna say 4 weeks. I'm talking about it was. I was sleeping 16 hours. It was that bad. And when coach is saying player after player after player, and then when they get back, just because they're back, that don't mean they're good.
Right.
Like, you got to get your wind back, and then they still got to get back to that chemistry that they had, because that is just not you don't just wake up out of bed and think that you're going to go back to doing what you was doing 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It takes time. And then I know the fan base just wants everything to happen so quickly, but it takes time. It's going to take, they need about 4 or 5 games under their belt so they can get it back. But once that happens, this team has enough firepower to scare some people.
Yeah. They
just got to continue to progress and then get healthy.
Yeah, I agree. All right, last time I was here, you guys were all in here. TJ Wheeler was in here. He's a guard. Mm-hmm. You are not. I came up. I straight up asked him I'm like, do we shoot too many threes? He said no. What do you say?
Do we shoot too many threes? Last time he said no. Being a guard, I'm a big guy. I like to score. The most efficient shot in basketball is the closest you can get to the rim.
Yes, indeed.
And so if I'm shooting 30% from 3, and we're going to get attempts, not all attempts are created equally. I'm old school guy.
Exactly.
So
a driving kick when you're wide open in the corner, that's fine. A step back when you're getting like a crossover step back, that's not hype. Yeah.
But
exactly.
I'm more old school. I grew up watching big guys kick the ball out.
Yes.
So I believe in playing dominant in the inside. Having them have to worry about a 7'1" guy. And then once they crash, let's start kicking the ball out. Because now when you make 2 or 3 passes off a double team, now you're getting step in wide open threes.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I think should happen. I'm no coach at that level. Coach Underwood knows way more about basketball than me. But I definitely will play more inside out, or like you were saying, hit the gap, penetrate, kick, knock down open shots instead of shooting 28-foot step back threes.
Right. That's the thing too. Like people don't talk about people talk about everybody's 3-point percentage, but a wide open 3 when somebody's penetrating, kicking it out to you, and like I said, when you're doing a crossover step back, that's a big. Not all threes are created equal. It's just so. I got no problem with good shot selection, whether it's a 2 or 3 is important.
Especially when you're 0 for 6, 0 for 7, 0 for 3.
What was it? It was 0 for a lot.
I'm more talking about the individual player.
Yes.
Like you will want to shoot a more of an easier shot than shooting a step back 28-footer. Even though you can make them and you probably make them in practice all the time, there's a time and place for that shot.
Exactly. Yes. All right, I'm just gonna go down the list here. And I want to get your opinion on just our roster a little bit, okay? I'm gonna do some of the same stuff I did with TJ, but then we're gonna do some funner stuff too.
Let's get it.
Okay, I'm just gonna name a guy, and you just tell me what you think of him this year, okay? Let's go with Boswell.
I love the fact.
Okay. By the way, I'm being nice because I was gonna make you do like a 1 to 10, like rank him, like how much you like him on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm just gonna let you say if you
I like Boswell.
I do too.
I like Boswell. I love the fact that he is taking on that mantle of guarding the dogs on the other team. I love that he's a pit bull. I love the mindset, especially being from Champaign. I love the fact that he came home. Mm-hmm. I think he's a tough young man, and he takes that mantle of guarding their best player. Absolutely. I love that. He reminds me he's a younger version of Serge because Serge stood on that too. Mm-hmm. Serge wanted to guard the best player when we was at U of I. No matter what, he took on that challenge.
Right. Yeah, I like him a lot too.
Yeah.
All right, KJ. He's pausing and got. Yeah. Just hey, there are no wrong answers, or
KJ, I haven't met the young man yet. I think he's world of potential. I think he was balling out of control until the injury. The injury really set him back, and I think he's going to get to the next level. I think he can get this team to the next level as long as he's healthy, and he's still a freshman. And so right now he's a sophomore. This time of year, you have graduated to that sophomore level, and so he's a good player.
Yeah. Very political of you. I feel like for the look that you gave when I said his name, that was very political.
I didn't,
I'm just kidding.
I did not have a look, guys.
I just feel like he's just like you can tell he's, from overseas and young. He's got that kind of game, but he's so young that he's going to make a lot of mistakes,
Yep.
so. But
you got to put that caveat in of how young he is. He's coming over here playing, but he's young, but he's extremely good. And so injury kind of derailed him. It looks like he's getting his feet back, his feet a little wet a little bit, and I just know he's going to continue to grow. Like the one more regular season game, he's going to be in a lot of guys' first Big Ten tournament here coming next week. I will be there. And so it's going to be fun to see how they progress.
Right. All right, let's go to Will Riley.
I love his game. I think there's been a big transition with him from the beginning of the year to now. I think at the beginning of the year he was looking to shoot the long ball too much, and I think something shifted and told him to go to the basket. They cannot guard him.
Right.
Stop bailing the defense out. Put your feet in the paint. Use your long wingspan to shoot over the top of a lot of guys. And I think he's doing that a lot more.
Yeah.
And you see it. And you can see the energy that he plays with when he comes into the game.
Yeah. Don't you feel, okay, for the other thing, like for as many threes as we shoot, I was talking to one of my buddies about this. It's like, how many of them are actually shooters? It's like Boswell's kind of a slasher. Riley's more of a scorer, not a shooter. KJ's more of a scorer than a shooter. We don't have any like true shooters. I mean, Humbercraft was kind of supposed to be. We'll get to him a little bit, but I mean, you know what I mean. We don't have any like shooters. You know what I mean? For as many as we shoot, we don't have a lot of just pure shooters. We don't have like Sean Harrington's out there or anybody like that.
And that comes into how they should shoot. But
Right.
again, though, I would never criticize Coach. But again, that's why I think playing from the inside out, because you can get a lot of walk-in threes, a lot of like practice in the gym threes instead of the step back threes.
Right, exactly. All right, let's go with Tommy. Tomislav Ivicic.
The big guy.
Yes.
I like the big guy.
Yeah.
I love that he can shoot. I don't think his jump shot is better than Mr. Brian Cook's by no means.
Right.
That's my guy, DC.
He's Tommy was probably our best pure shooter, though.
Yes. Because think about it, his shots. There's no step back. He just catching and shoot.
Right.
No step backs, very traditional. But I will love him more if he has a nice touch around the rim. I just need to see it more often.
Yeah.
Like I want to see some jump hooks. I want to see over left or right shoulder, 2 feet in the paint. That's what I want to see because I know he's capable of doing it. I've seen it every so often in games, but I definitely like his game.
Right.
Definitely like his game.
We need to see some Marcus Griffin footwork.
Hey, up and unders, down low. Hey, I can remember Coach Gillespie, we used to shoot so many Griff shots in games, in practices, like 10 foot around the perimeter, like right around in the paint. I would shoot them all day long. But 2 feet in the paint is necessary for him.
Yeah. He's hurt, but I love him. Like Merez Johnson.
I like that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And what I like about him is that he works. He's the worker.
Yeah.
He's the worker. Like he's around the basket. He likes to get 2 feet in the paint. He's going to the rim. And even though I saw him shoot in warm-ups, he's knocking down he's knocking down the baseline three, but you can't tell because in the game, he's 2 feet in the paint.
Right.
And he's protecting the rim. And he likes, and listening to Coach, he wanted the challenge of Coach was going to put him on Cooper Flagg at the Duke game. He was going to put him on him if he wasn't hurt. And so just the fact that Coach has that confidence in his defensive ability lets me like him even more. Like he wanted that challenge, and so it sucks that he got hurt. I think he was playing a lot better than he was at the first half of the year. But again, though, he was growing. He's a sophomore, whatever grade he is now. I'm talking about I say the second half of the year, you graduate. You at the next you graduate to the next grade. Like you move on. You're not a freshman anymore when you get to that 2025 calendar year. But yes, I like his game.
Yeah. I feel like he could have guarded Cooper Flagg better than anybody we had out there with the cast on, probably,
But I think Boswell kept Flagg out of the paint. He only had 16 points.
That's true, I know. Yeah.
And so from somebody, we kept him under his average. He's averaging, I think, 20 in ACC play.
Yeah.
I think we did a good job on him. It could have been better. I don't think we gave him a lot of transitional baskets.
Right.
So it was solid.
Yeah. Let's go DGL.
I love his energy.
Yeah.
I love his energy. He's also, I think he's cut from that Boswell cloth. I think he loves to play defense. He loves to get into people, and I love that. And he likes to attack the rim. Any guard that likes to play north and south, I love. I hate the guards that want to play east and west, go around the perimeter all the time. Like, go to the rim.
Yes.
Put your head down, go to the rim.
Yes. We're old school, but, the more I think about that, being old school, sometimes it dawned on me, like, well, maybe this means I'm just getting old, because it's just old. I'm old school because I'm old, and it's like, but yes, you should be able to get wherever you want in about 3 dribbles, if you're good, like, but too many side to side, like you were talking about before we came on, like NBA, don't watch that, because they'll dribble 17 times and shoot something, it's like, just get to where you're going to get.
To all the kids out there, I'm going to give you this caveat. To every young man, every young woman that's playing basketball, I want you to play one-on-one with a sibling, and you only get 2 dribbles.
Yes.
If you cannot score in 2 dribbles, you need to get back to the drawing board. Dribbling the ball 57 times is the worst thing that you can ever do.
Yeah.
Figure out moves that can get you clean shots off in 2 to 3 dribbles. Play one-on-one like that for the rest of your life. You will be surprised on how much better you get.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, let's see. DGL, okay. This is popping in my head too. Okay, he was playing that little stretch there. We weren't playing well, but he was playing 25, and then people were sick, but he was playing like 25 to 30 minutes a couple games there. And then, like, all of a sudden he gets down to like 7-8 minutes the last few games. Do you think that's just game script, or not game script, but do you think that's just with the other team or whatever? Because I feel like he was playing great, and I feel like he should get at least, even when we're at full strength, he should get 18, 20 minutes a game, don't you think?
I don't know, coaches. That comes down to coach's strategy.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you got players coming back. Players was hurt. Did that have anything to do with it? And then you're trying to get everybody back to their traditional rotation.
Right.
And so it's kind of hard when you got 8 or 9 guys that can play. Like, it is hard to manage that. It is really hard, because you don't want to disturb what you got, but you want to try to get people back in their natural spot. Like, this guy needs to play about 10 to 12 minutes. This guy plays good 10 to 15 minutes. But once you got a guy hot, it's kind of hard. Mm-hmm. Like, coach's job is to figure how to mix and match those players. And it's hard when you got a bunch of talent.
Yeah. Well, when you played, Coach Self had to do that. You guys were deep. Right? Yeah. I mean, so.
But even in the tournament, like, when he will tighten the range, though. Like, if some guys was getting 20, like Coach Kruger, when you was getting 28, 29 minutes, then you will get a little bit more time, because he's expecting his better guys to play a little bit more in crunch time in those big games.
Right. Yeah. How about Trey White?
I need to see more of him.
Yeah,
I love his game. But again, though, like, it's the 3-headed monster. Mm-hmm. Him, Kay, and Boswell together on the perimeter. Oh, it's nightmares on defense.
Right.
It's nightmares. I love to see when them 3 are in the game together. I like guards. I like hard nose coming from Peoria. The one thing, I don't know if y'all know this, but the one thing about us, I grew up around hard-nosed guards. Guards that want to get their faces in, guards that want to play downhill. He's another one of those guards. I relate to him. I like his game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, a couple more here. Jake Davis. I feel like for what they ask of him, I think he's fine.
He reminds me of a Lucas Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, he's a pest. He's going to get in there. He's going to mix it up. He is not scared of nobody. He's not afraid of the moment. He's going to knock down big shots, and he's going to play solid defense. Who would not want a player like that on their team?
Right.
All day long.
Yeah. TJ said he needed a haircut. What?
Yeah. I would agree, because I'm just not. I'm old school. So all that hair, yeah. But do him. As long as it don't get in his way, in his face when he's shooting, knocking down them threes, that all that matters.
That's right. As long as you don't have to get it out of your eyes when you're shooting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, last one. I saw Hummer Kaus.
Yeah. I feel like it seems like he plays every shot is pressure on him. It seems like every shot he shoots, he feels like he has the weight of the world to knock it down. And what I will say, hey, I don't want you to think about the game anymore. I don't want you to think about a shot anymore. I want you to be so free in your mindset that I don't care if you go 0 for 6. I want you not to be thinking about the 0 for 6. Let it go and just go play.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's thinking so much. Just go play, have fun. I would like to know how much fun is he having. Not with the team, just himself.
Right.
How much? Because I don't know if he's having fun, but if he is, he needs to show it a little bit more and not think about the shots. Just go out there and play and have a good time.
Yeah.
And then his shots will fall.
Right. He's not Marcus Damask, but there was these things last year where they're saying, oh, another mid-major kid who, and there's the obvious compare, but it's like, you're not him. You're not going to be him. So just help us however you can.
I think we wanted him to be him.
Yeah.
He's his own person. He's his own man, and he has to find his own niche.
Right.
And he will. He will.
Yeah. There's one more thing where I'm going to drill you a little bit, then we can have fun, I promise. But
drill away.
Okay. I'm going to play a game. Will he transfer? Okay. Now, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding.
In this climate?
Actually, it's not that. It's will they be back? Okay, in your opinion, just will you? Because what I like to do is you just give me what you think, yes or no. Then we'll revisit it in about 6 months and see how you did. But not will they transfer, just will they be back next year? Because there's the draft, there's all this other stuff, okay? And one thing I would say is, before we even get into all that, Tommy and Will Riley, if they would just stay one more year and get with Fletch for a year, can you imagine what they would be next year? I don't know.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Right.
Every last player on the team will benefit. Oh my God, Illinois would be preseason ranked number 1 team in the country. It wouldn't even. I don't even think it'd be close if we had every player to come back. Let's say we had 7 of our top guys to come back.
Yeah,
they will be arguably one of the top 3 teams next year.
Yeah,
I would love to see that. I would love to see it, but
okay. Well, but ... Here we go. Okay, so. Just give me a yes or no in your opinion. If they'll be wearing a Illini uniform next year. Okay, KJ.
No.
Boswell.
Yes.
Okay. Tommy.
No.
Will Riley.
Yes.
That would be juicy if you did. Okay. Marez Johnson.
Yes.
Trey White.
Yes.
Okay. Good. DGL.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Ty Rogers.
Ooh, you had to ask me that one.
I hope, but
I hope. I'm talking about. Oh yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
That is from my heart and not my head. I'm saying yes.
Right. Yeah.
Him on this team.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Defensively, because he's big enough, you can play him at the 3, and you can move some people around the 3 to 4, and then you can go Mr. Johnson at the 5, or you could go the big 7-footer at the 5, and you can have them 3 because they all rebound well. He rebounds like a center at his position.
Yes.
That would be those 4, and then oh my God, defensively,
yeah,
that would be a nightmare.
Yeah. So the only 2 you had leaving was KJ and Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of those is more heart than head, because I hear that they do truly love to be at U of I.
Yeah.
But with this NIL, that changed the landscape of college sports.
Right.
You just never know.
Yeah, I agree. I will say this: if it is just those two, we're going to be pretty damn good next year. I mean, because that's Riley's the one too. I'm kind of surprised you said yet, but man, that'd be great if he's. Yeah, if he did.
Because I looked at the draft boards, they're talking about him to being a second round pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had him being a second round pick, and I just feel like, what would it hurt you to come back one more year? Because him as a sophomore, he'd be a lottery pick.
Yes,
year.
I agree.
He'd be a lottery pick.
Yeah,
he get what Fletch has shown, proven record that you get Fletch 2 years, your body will transform.
Yes,
you give him. It's just what it is, and so Riley 2 years with Coach Fletch.
Well, and I believe it was TJ that brought up something good too. It's like, okay, it took Terrence Shannon 2/3 of the year to even get on the floor. So
about the next at the NBA.
Yeah, so it's like Will Riley. What do you do you think you're anywhere in that league right now? Like, of course not. I mean, you know what I mean. So yeah, it makes sense.
And Terrence Shannon just had to prove that he can knock down shots consistently because you know what you're gonna get from him defensively. He attacks the rim even at the next level. He is still getting by people because I didn't know if he was quick enough, but he's definitely proved me wrong because he's definitely getting by people. Like, I'm a Laker fan, so I watched the last Laker Minnesota game, and I was impressed. With
that was his best game.
Yeah, he had 25 points,
yes.
And I think he didn't hit a sheet. I think he probably hit 1 3, and everything else was feet in the paint.
The same stuff he did in college, just downhill. Just
get the ball and go. Get the ball and go. And I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Okay, if you were, let's just kind of. Well, I guess we can kind of finish up here with Illinois. What do you think their ceiling is? I guess that's a kind of a cliche, boring question, but I mean, because I don't remember a team being an Illinois team being so not erratic, but just you think, oh my gosh, we're even going to make the tournament, then all of a sudden, then you blow out somebody by 20. Like they've got 20-point road wins against really good teams, but then they also have looked.
Yeah.
So I think I probably know your answer, but what do you think the ceiling could be for them?
They need to get out of the 9-8 matchup in the NCAA tournament because I looked again yesterday and they still had them, I think, an 8 seed.
I don't agree with that though. After beating Michigan, I feel like we should be at least a 7. But
the losses they still that was yesterday. But if they can get up that 9-8 seed and not have to face a 1 seed in the second round, then they got an opportunity to get to the second weekend.
Right.
But confidence is everything.
Yeah.
Confidence is everything. And going up to Michigan and beating that team by 20 shows a lot. They got a big game tonight. And then next week, if they win tonight, I think they're slot at the 7 seed in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I think so.
And so they're going to get a game. They're going to get a game on Tuesday? Is it Tuesday or Thursday?
Well, if they get a double bye, they just have to. They play like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Yeah. So yeah.
And so I just feel like it's still theirs. Like everything that they wanted, they can't win a regular season Big Ten championship, but they can win a Big Ten tournament. They can definitely win that. If they win the Big Ten tournament, I can see them getting a 5 seed. And then now you get a 5 seed. Mm-hmm. Now you void the 1 seeds, the 2 seeds until the Sweet 16,
right.
Elite 8. Now you got a chance to make some noise. And then confidence, they get a couple games to get confidence under their belt. They can shoot and score with anybody. It's just the other things. Are they going to turn the ball over? They rebound better than anybody in the country. So it's going to be about knocking shots down and then playing solid defense.
Right. It's a wide variance, I feel like, with them. Like, what can happen. But
yep.
I was going to ask you, too, we can kind of, before we get into a little bit, like, maybe preview tonight's game a little bit, playing Purdue. Like, I was going to ask what the spread, I'm guessing the spread's maybe, if I was guessing, I would say like -1.5, -1.5, -2.5, maybe us, but somewhere.
I think more than that. Well,
you really think so?
Yeah, I'd say 3.5.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even tell you.
Right.
Like, I say 3.5. But the game plan should be the same. We're going to keep James Smith out of the paint. We're not going to give him open looks. We're going to keep Purdue off the offensive glass. We're going to keep them out of transition, and for us, we want to play downhill. We want to play north and south, not east and west. We want to get the ball in the paint. We want to knock down some shots because we're going to get shots, but we don't want to play east to west. We don't want to keep the ball on the perimeter. We want to get the ball in the paint. We want to knock down open looks off our penetrating kick. We want to get Big Boy going early, get him a couple jump hooks, and then the rest of the game, we just want to play solid half-court man-to-man defense.
Right. Yeah. All right, let's do something here. By the way, I was going to tell you guys, like, I want to do a podcast sometime where I do like a watch along where I just have a former player. We just watch a game that they played, and we just mute it, and we just talk the whole time and things like that. Now, I was going to mention that with him about doing that, and I thought I should probably avoid the final 8 game in 2001 against Arizona, where 6 guys fouled out. And because I get pissed and I'm just a fan, so I can't even imagine if you know. But I thought about doing something like that. But to these fans that know that we got hosed, yes, from a player perspective, just give your fans here some insight of.
So what I can honestly say about that game, political stuff matters. So what I will say to that is that if people can remember.
By the way, you guys remember? Okay, like they made it to the final 8. We were the 1 seed playing Arizona. Bill Walton's doing the commentary, and his son's playing. Okay, yes.
If guys remember, is that
Arizona coach prep.
Arizona coach really got in the media, talked about how physical we was and all that good stuff. So once you put that energy in the air, referees are human. You can say that they're not reading the newspapers or getting on ESPN, but they're human. Yeah. And so, with that being said, we had the most fouls that we ever had in the basketball that game. I will say this. I believe, but you got to prove it, that we was one of the best teams in the country that year. That did not make it to probably the best Illinois team has ever had did not make it to a Final Four. I would truly believe that. I think we had shooting, we had size, we had great guard play, we had rebounding, everything that you need. But 50 some odd fouls in the game and having 6 to 7 players foul out, that is, and I think we still only lost by like 3 points.
Oh yeah.
For the game to be that close, it was a testament to how well we was coached, how hard we played, how we did everything else to rebound the ball to keep us close. But to have 6 to 7 players fall out in a basketball game is a hard pill to swallow, when the most I think we ever had foul out in the game was 2.
Yeah.
And that was any point of the season. Like, it's just a hard pill to swallow.
Do you remember?
But Arizona was a great team. I don't want to take anything from Wade. They was a stacked team. Gilbert Arenas was a stud. Michael Wright was a beast. Lauren Wood was good. Luke Walton was good.
Was Stoudemire their point guard?
No, not yet. He wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
He came after the fact. They was a good team.
Yeah. Who was their point guard? You remember? Because they had Jason Terry. That was Jason Terry was before that. Yeah.
What's his name? Little short guy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas.
Right.
Gilbert Arenas was a stud.
Yeah. Do you remember, like, back then? Okay. Coach Self.
Yep.
What's he say? What's he say after a game? Okay, because to me, and I coach junior high kids, whatever. So, but to me, it's like anytime you mention the refs to your players, you're just giving them an excuse,
yep.
And it's a crutch and blah blah blah. So you don't even mention it. But did he ever? How was he feeling after that game? If you remember, did he ever mention anything to you guys, or was it just like
It wasn't. There was nothing that he could say.
Yeah.
It was more about what we said to the guys that was still there.
Yeah.
Like, we left them in a place for them to be able to take advantage, because you had Brian Cook coming back. You had Corey Bradford coming back. You had Sean Harrington coming back. Robert Archibald, Demir Kapalia, Lucas Johnson, Brian Cook. And so to leave them with that taste in their mouth, hey, we got to Elite 8. Like, guys, y'all can take this even further next year.
Right.
Because now Frank was Big Ten Player of the Year that year. Brian Cook the following year was Big Ten Player of the Year. So, no, 2 years later. So, but just putting that into their system and letting them know, that we got a taste. Like, this was the furthest that we've been since '01. I mean, since the Flying Illini. So let's capitalize.
Right. Okay, you know I like doing this stuff. I did this with you last time, but we'll do it for these guys. Okay, your 01 team again. No.
Against everybody. Against everybody.
I know. No, okay, I want to ask how you'd match up. Like, obviously I'm taking you guys against, let's just, against this current group, though. Who would guard who, in your opinion? No,
this current team?
No, I know you'd beat them, but I say, who would you have? If you're coaching them, like, who would you guard? Who would Sergio guard? Who would Frankie guard? Like, with this group, like, today?
Okay, so...
If you were doing it.
So you will put... I'm trying to think. So my starting lineup is Frank, Corey, Serge, me, and Cook.
Yeah.
So who is their starting five? I can't think of who exactly is their starting five.
These guys tonight? Yeah. Well, they'll have KJ, Boswell, Tommy, Trey White, and Will Riley, I think.
So you will put, I believe you'll put Serge on KJ.
Okay.
Or Will Riley, just depending who's hot, who's the hotter.
Yeah.
And then you'll put Corey and Frank on the other two guards. And then you'll put Brian Cook on the other big, and then I will guard the big boy.
Tommy.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, see, but they're small, though, so somebody have to guard Trey White for you to get.
Cook
guard Trey White, yeah. How would you match up?
Have problems on the offense.
Yes, they would. Yeah.
When we got the ball, they will have nightmare. Because with Coach Self's offense, 2-man game down low, we're just not even look. Just throw the ball up on the backboard. Don't even look at the rim. Just throw it and go get it.
Yeah.
When you guys 6'5", 6'9", 6'10", going to the glass, and we're strong, we're big body, and then we come off the bench. We got 7'1" Archibald, we got crazy Lucas Johnson, we got another 6'10" Demir Krupalya.
Yeah. Krupalya was, he was great too, man. He was,
Bosnian strong as a bull.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't never seen somebody curl 100-pound dumbbells until him. He was the first person that I've ever seen. Yeah.
Really?
He'd sit there, he'd be like, oh, this is easy. What? I need both of them to grab one. He'd be like, oh, you weak.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh. Different strength.
So well, that's making me think of other stuff. Okay, so was he the strongest guy on that team?
Pound for pound, Corey Bradford was.
Yeah?
Yeah, pound for pound, Corey Bradford was throwing over 300. Easy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Serge was strong too.
Yeah. Okay, well, how about if you got in a fight, one guy from that team you'd want with
Arch.
Yeah.
Ain't a question in my mind.
Really?
Me and Arch Wolfpack brothers.
Yeah.
Man, if I'm like, don't get me wrong, Serge and Frank, come on now. I've known Frank since we was Tree Wind Tigers back at Tree Wind Middle School.
Yeah.
And so I always got them. But if I needed somebody to do some Arch.
Really?
All day long.
That's awesome.
Arch, big, strong guy, yes.
Yeah. That's great. All right, well, he said no matter who, if you heard him, he was like, no matter which team I mentioned, he said, okay, so let's go.
Stand 10 toes down on that.
I'm going to work my way up here. Let's go. I know. I'll go with 05 first.
Hold on. I'm not disrespecting my 05 brothers. Me and D Brown had a conversation. We literally had got in this argument, I don't know how long ago. We was at a bar, and when I tell you, we had about 50 people in on this conversation. I love those guys.
Yeah.
I love them. I love James Augustine, Roger Powell, Luther Head, Darren Williams, D Brown. That is a great squad. But they too small.
Yeah.
So it will be the tale of this. Can we dominate them in the paint and on the glass? If they make it a track race, they will beat us because we're not going to run with them. They're going to get up and down. So we will have to dominate the glass, and we will have to slow the game down by pounding them in the paint. We got an advantage over height. We got an advantage over muscle. When we go to our bench, we're bringing in size that can score. When they're going to their bench, they're not bringing in size. They're bringing in other ball handlers. So you're going to have somebody coming into the game, like I think you had a Jack Ingram, who was a solid player, but he's not guarding Robert Archibald. Not on the block, not on the low post. Robert Archibald's going to pound on the deck. And then you got Lucas Johnson. They just physically wouldn't be able to match up against us. But it'll be a tale of two different type of games.
Okay, let's go back to what I was saying with the other group. Who would guard who, you think, at the beginning? Like starting five, two starting five?
With this team?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be...
No, like the 05 against you guys.
Okay, so you're going to put me on James Augustine.
Okay.
You're going to put Brian Cook on Roger Powell.
Yeah.
And then Serge is going to have to guard...
Probably Darren, wouldn't
Darren.
he? Yeah.
Serge is going to guard Darren. And then Frank and Corey is going to guard Luther and D.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, let's go.
Serge big body, keep Darren out the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to keep Darren out the paint.
Right. Do you agree, though, with that the 05 team has, well, I mean, just by the NBA career and everything, like the 05 team's got the best player out of those two teams with Darren.
Who had the better career? Yes, not the best player.
Okay, so in college...
I think Frank was a better point guard than Darren was in college.
Yeah.
He didn't have the better professional career than Darren. But at Illinois, I believe there's going to be a lot of players that's like that. I can say...
well, I mean, Darren was just a winner, you know. Yeah, I mean, and just kind of... D got a lot of the attention, but Darren was the man. I mean, you know, I mean, he was the one, and he was the third pick of the NBA draft, so obviously he was. But I always liked Darren just because he's just
big,
quiet, and just but no show, but just you know,
he was
just a killer,
old school,
you know,
player. He played very good on speed, like he can burst you. It's like Luka Doncic, like he was a. Luka is so slow. I still don't understand how he can get to 1A from 1A to 1B, but he's shifty. Like he can cross you, and then he can hesitate to get you on his side, and he's 6'7". Once he gets you there, you're done. Right. Because now he can shoot over you because he got a 7'1" wingspan.
Yeah. We were talking about, we both coach younger kids. That's one thing. It's like I always tell them, like, it don't matter how fast you are. It's all about changing your pace. Mm-hmm. You know, like if you go the same speed all the time, anybody can guard you. Yep. You know, but it's all about just changing your pace. And Luka's a great example of that because he is not quick. But okay, we did 05. Let's go to Flying Illini now.
That's a good one. See, I definitely can't tell you their starting lineup off the top of my head.
Okay, we got Bardo, Gill, Anderson, Battle, and Lowell Hamilton.
So I'm guarding Hamilton, of course.
Yeah. If Marcus Liberty doesn't start for you, you got a pretty good squad. But
for real,
yeah.
That
doesn't mean that he shouldn't have. That he should have been off the bench, but he was.
And then Cook is going to guard. Say it one more time.
Well, you got Lowell Hamilton, Battle, Anderson, Gill, and Barton.
Cook is guarding Battle. Serge is going to have to guard Kendall, and then Frank and Corey is going to guard the other two guards.
Well, now let's think about Corey Bradford trying to guard Nick Anderson. That's not.
Going to have like it's definitely like it's.
You said you'd take yourself against any of them.
1,000% because now we're looking at defensive how they're going to match up against us. But guess what? Once you throw that ball on the rim, it's a totally different situation. And we are a bigger or more physical team. Yeah. Like they will have to stop us from getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive rebound because we're going to that glass. Yeah. We're going to send forward to the glass, but we will have to rebound. Because if we don't rebound, they are running the ball down our throats on the other end. Right. Because they are high flyers. Yeah. And if we can't dominate the paint and we get it like it's the same thing, and they can run the floor and get up and down and use their athleticism, we're going to be in trouble. Yeah. We have to dominate the paint.
I don't want to be controversial or anything. But he's got the court named after him. But I'm giving you guys the coaching edge in that game. If you guys got Bill Self and Flying Illini's got Lou, you got Bill Self's a
He got 2 national championships.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean Lou was not a great coach.
Right.
Not
Exactly.
even a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, but
when I
take Kruger. I like both of my 2 coaches that I had at Illinois.
Yeah, since we're getting to that, like, nice. Put him on. No, I'm just joking. Kenny Battle's calling him right now. Well,
He must be listening.
do what? I haven't had him on. No. I was going to say, though,
I hope he got a ticket for me.
talk about maybe they're both amazing coaches, Hall of Fame caliber coaches, but maybe a little bit of differences between Lon and Coach Self.
And again, I was only around Coach Self for 1 year. Coach Kruger for 1 year.
Right.
And it was just a different feel with Coach Self. Coach Self was a player coach.
Yeah.
And then you hear that a lot that he's just relatable to the players. And I think Coach Kruger kept it very business-like.
Yeah.
And you can still talk to him, but I wasn't talking to him about personal issues.
Right, yeah.
I could go to Coach Self and talk to him about those things. And so that was the big difference. Like, think about it. Coach Self only coached me 1 year. And he is on our text message thread. Between all the players that he coached, all of us together, and he's active on it. He don't sit there and not respond. Like, he talks to us on it. And so, again, I coached him 1 year. He gave me front row seats at the Kansas-Texas game a couple of years ago. So that tells you everything you need to know about him as a man and as a coach.
Right. It's funny, though, because I just had Quan Garris on, and he was talking about, because he had Coach Henson for his first 3 years, and he had Coach Kruger his senior year, and he was talking about...
I'm listening.
He was talking about what a player's coach, Coach Kruger, was compared to what he was used to with Coach Henson. You know what I mean? So there's just levels to all of it, well, let's see here. We're at a point now where, do you guys out there, you have anything you want to ask Marcus? I know we were talking for a while before we came on, but...
I'm sorry.
Well, let's go ahead and say, there's somebody here whose, your daughter was his math teacher in junior high.
Tree went Tiger. Tree went Tiger. Yep.
Yeah. You and Frank? That's great.
Hey, man, it's just full circle because me, Serge, and Frank, I never met Serge up until my freshman year. And what's crazy, we all lived in a 4-block radius of each other. Yeah, where Serge used to live, and me and Frank grew up. Like, our dads hung out with each other. So I've known Frank since Harrison Home. That was a project in Peoria. Tree Win. Me and Frank used to play basketball for one-on-one with Coach Westendorf. He would give us a sneaker every Friday, one-on-one. And I lost a lot of those battles. Frank would tell you that he beat me, but I'm a big guy guarding a guard.
Yeah.
That's not fair. So he would kick my butt and get a candy bar. So
yeah. I was gonna say too, back in the day, the Topper Classic in Danville.
Yep.
There was a Class A and a Class AA division, and back in the good old days, like mid '90s, it was like Manual, Chicago King, Chicago Farragut.
Westinghouse.
Yes, and Danville High School was there, and that's when Keon Clark he's older than both of us, but...
I knew of him.
Yes, but... So you'd have, Ronnie Fields and Kevin Garnett and Richard Griffith, and then Manuel, who won state every year in AA, but... Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Four AA state titles, yeah.
King was good. But they beat us a couple of times. But Farragut was a nightmare to go up against because you literally had two, and then you had, people don't understand this, they had a young Michael Wright. And I brought up Michael Wright earlier because Michael Wright went to Arizona. And so you had Ronnie Fields, who was, a lot of people don't know this, but in the early 90s, he was every bit as big in the city of Chicago as Michael Jordan.
Yes, yes he was.
If you don't know, then you miss out. Ronnie Fields was a show. Just, if you can Google him before he had his neck injury, he was a monster. And then you have another kid in Kevin Garnett, one of the top 25 best basketball players to ever grace touch a basketball. KG is a stud. He's went to the NBA and done great things. But they lost to a little simple team in Peoria, Manual. Who would have ever thought?
Right.
Like, all these great players, but they just couldn't beat these guys from Peoria. Who would have thought?
But our coach, we were Class A, small, teeny tiny town good, and we were like, and our coach got us to in that Topper Classic. You got your cupcake game was against Chrisman, my sophomore and junior year, and so we were like, we got to play Peoria Manual and all this kind of stuff. So I was a junior, and I'd get 20. Whatever, a game for Class A, whatever. So so I go out to the 3-point line, and I'm squaring up.
You going with this?
I'm squaring up, and Marcus sent it like 7 or 8 rows, blocked it. And I swear his body didn't leave the lane. Like, his arms are so damn long, it was just like, pop, and I felt like he wasn't even out of the lane. It's just like his arms are so long. So I in my mind I was like, oh, maybe I should pump fake next time.
People don't realize, because people look at me as being a big guy, but I am an undersized center, and I used to guard the big guys. But what you don't realize, when I stick my arms out and my wingspan, and I was a great. It's like 7'4" from finger to finger, and people didn't realize that with these long arms that I could get off the ground. And so you would think that you could get the shot over me, but I closed the distance really fast.
Yeah,
I closed distance really fast. So
I was like, this isn't small town Class A basketball that I'm used to.
It's a big difference. Like,
where'd the ball go?
If I see, and I was very good at not jumping in shot fakes, and so I would traject the ball, and so I'd be looking for the ball, and I was like, not that many balls can get over me, because I used to be able to put my elbows on the rim. I used to be able to get off the ground, and so if I can see it, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go get it. And there's been a couple of guards I used to hate it, pet peeve, that they would just throw the ball so high that my fingertips will hit and I couldn't block it. Oh, it used to drive me crazy. It used to drive me absolutely crazy.
Yeah. I think you got mine with your elbow. All right, well.
There's been a lot that I used to catch.
Yeah, go ahead.
So in high school, you were coached by Sergio's dad, is that correct?
First year, I was coached by one of the legendary coaches, rest in peace. Both of my coaches, rest in peace, Coach Van Syot.
Oh, okay.
He was, at that time, I think he had like 800 wins in the state of Illinois.
Yes,
great
right,
coach.
right.
He only coached me 1 year. And so that freshman year, in the last 3 years, rest in peace to him too, Coach Wayne McClain. He coached me to 3 state championships.
Yeah. That coach you had when you were a freshman, didn't he? I mean, how many games did he win? He won
like 800.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah. Like he was there for a while, Coach Van. Like, I can remember, man, so many times I wanted to quit, because that was only my second year playing basketball. And you a 14, 15-year-old kid, and they're telling you have to go play with 18 and 19-year-olds. Man, I ain't want no part of those problems. But the thing that I love the most is that the one thing that my mom, and I'm a mama's boy, she did not want a quitter. She was never, ever going to allow me to quit. No matter, because it was hard, man. It was hard. And that's times I quit. And back in the day, that's when my mom was working hourly jobs. She didn't have a salary position. So when she had to leave work to come deal with me, there was consequences to that. Like, when your mom is working, an hourly job, and she has to leave to come deal with some nonsense, she gonna have a belt with her. And especially that I quit, I can remember to the day that she caught me walking, and I tried to act like I didn't see her. Like, when I saw the car and she hit the U-turn, I started to walk faster. And then when I heard her say my name, and like she said Marcus, and I didn't hear it, But then when she said Marcus Allen, y'all know as parents, that middle name, ooh, I felt it in my spirit. I was like, I'm in trouble. Like, I didn't even want to look back. But I knew I had to, because if I'd have took another step, it would have been problems. And so I definitely stopped, but she never let me quit on myself. Coach Van saw something in me. Like, those guys saw something in me before I was able to see it in myself. And it changed. Like, when I tell every kid, like, people don't know my story, but when I tell you I was the worst basketball player that I ever seen in my life, I was so bad. Like, because I was growing
when you started playing really
rate.
late, too.
Yeah, I was growing at a rapid rate, and then I was so uncoordinated, like not being able to do certain things. But when I say you come to the gym every single day, you show up every day, you will get better. You will get so much better. And I showed up every day. Like, I put so much time in every single day that it got easier. It got easier. And then it got easier. And then I'm looking at players, I'm like, y'all just not good enough. Like, y'all not it. And then I would take this on the road. Everywhere. Like, I played in a Vegas tournament that had some of the best basketball players in the state. I'm talking about Tracy McGrady, everybody, all the best. And I won the MVP of that tournament because I just showed up and showed out. Like, and I don't ever put myself above the best players that ever come out of Peoria because I don't see myself that way. But, man, I was a dog.
Yeah.
I was a dog. Like, I was a dog when it comes to blocking shots, rebounding, being in the paint. I was a dog. And then junior college just helped me out a lot. I would tell kids, if you need to find yourself, go to junior college because you will grow. And I went to junior college. I learned how to score. I learned how to put my back to the basket, learn that footwork that you was talking about so much. And when I got to Illinois, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
My confidence was at an all-time level. I can remember telling the centers and everybody that was at U of I as a sophomore in junior college, I was like, man, I hope y'all ready because y'all know next year y'all not going to be playing no more. And I am so serious. I'm like, y'all not playing. Like, I'm coming. Griff is going to be home. And y'all going to have to transfer. Y'all going to have to do something. And I was so serious. My confidence just playing was at such at a high level. So
it's just like anything in life, you practice, you feel prepared, and that just gives you confidence, that you can.
That's what I'm telling you, my guy.
That's right.
Be in that gym, and I love the fact that you don't like playing the video games. That's just, you're gonna get so much better than your neighbors, your classmates. You're gonna get so much better because while you're in the gym, while you outside shooting, while you in the gym with dad, guess what they do? They at home playing. What's one of those games that they play now?
Mario. Fortnite. Yeah.
While you at the gym shooting your jump shots, working on your hand, they playing Fortnite. They playing Madden. Where they probably can kick your butt in Madden, but they can't beat you in horse.
That's right.
Perspective.
Hey, speaking of this little fella here, let's get him a question here before, and then we'll be done. Stevie Stumpers. Okay, do you have a question? You got something? Okay, he's got. I don't even know what it is. I didn't prep him or anything. What do you got?
What's your favorite Illinois player on the team right now?
Ooh, Boswell, without a doubt.
Nice.
Boswell.
Yeah.
I like the dog in him. Oh my God, the dog. He's tough. And it's not even about him scoring. It's not even about him scoring. He don't have to score.
Yeah.
It's his effort, his energy, his attitude that I love so much.
That's right. He reminds, the IO Kofi days, it's easy to love them, but my favorite player is always Felice because I just love
the hard work.
Yes.
It's the dog.
Just,
like Monte,
exactly.
I love the players who don't need to shine, but they can still be one of the best players every night because of their attitude, how hard they work, and the mindset. I love it.
Got it. Yep. All right, well, we better get ready to go watch Illinois hopefully whoop the Boilermakers.
Yep.
So, Marcus Griffin, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it was great. All right, man, we'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks a lot.